getting started on this meeting here, and I'm kind of going to go through. Today is real informal. It's just like a check-in, get everybody together that joined up. I'm just trying out to see, make sure nobody had any problems actually joining the session. How did it go?
Easy.
Super easy.
I clicked the link and I'm in it.
Oh, good. The time, is this work for most of you?
Yeah. Usually I'm out.
Yeah.
Okay.
Gives me a reason to wake up earlier than 1.
All right.
So yeah, it's just pretty informal. It's a check-in. I'm thinking about doing this at the end of the weeks just to check in with everybody and see how they're doing, what's gone well throughout the week, what they're having trouble, any questions that they might have with the assignments, and then kind of touch base on any other comments or announcements that I can make, to answer those questions. So I'm just going to kind of go down the list and just see how you're doing and anything that's going on, any suggestions that you have as we go along.
I can only see.
Yeah, we were talking about that earlier. I don't know if you heard that. Microsoft Teams, right now, you can only see 4 on the screen, but they did say that they're working on that to be able to change it. So it should, hopefully very soon, make it to where you can see more people, because that's been one of the major kind of criticisms that people have had about using the program, is you can only see like the last 4 people that talk.
Yeah.
So as far as schools going, how is the kind of setup with all this, the online courses? Everybody transitioning pretty well, or their schools are doing a good job communicating out the assignments?
Yep.
I'd say yeah.
The suggestion given from the morning class, they said some of their schools have been doing weekly assignments, like they just, not just a weekly assignment, but like posting all the assignments and the information for the week. And that way they have the opportunity to kind of get that done when they have the chance. I've been doing it daily, just here's what's Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. What do you guys thinking about doing, like putting them all out there?
I like the daily ones.
I like daily.
I like daily because then I don't feel
opinion.
I don't feel like it's all packed on.
Yeah, I don't feel like I have to like get all of it done at once. Where daily is just like, okay, I finished today's assignment, I can go do whatever.
Well, what I was saying, what my thought is to put the whole week out there and then have it broken up like I've been doing, where it has Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, all the way through. And then kind of like that way, at least what pace that I'm looking for you to do. Because some people, they're working a lot. I know that I've had some that are doing full time right now, as their jobs are calling them in, and they don't have the time every day to do that. So having you the opportunity to kind of either work on that at the beginning of the week or the end of the week, but eventually to get those all finished up, kind of knowing what's expected instead of it rolling and trickling out day by day.
Yeah, that'd be.
And my plan is all the stuff that was on there this week to put that into a folder. So it's not going to go away. It's just going to be moved off of the feed. So you'll see all the stuff for next week pop up.
Yeah. Just don't overwork yourself.
Yeah, that's
a good point.
Yeah, well, I'll do my best to try and get it out there. That's one of the things. It is a lot of work. It's way easier for me, being in the classroom than trying to deliver this online.
Yeah.
But I did find the video I posted yesterday with the Gold Seal instructor. How did you guys like the way he presented the material?
I kind of liked it. It was all right.
He does a good job, and he has a lot of videos out there that explain the material that we're getting ready to go in. So I might use some of his resources and some of the other instructors that have good videos like that posted, instead of me sitting there trying to teach all of it, try and pick somebody out. But I'm also posting the presentation material, and I changed yesterday from posting it as a PDF to posting it as a PowerPoint. Did anybody have any problems loading the PowerPoint presentation?
No.
Yeah.
Kale, did you say you did?
The first day, I didn't see the PowerPoint. Like, I went
Yeah.
on it, and it was something else.
Yeah.
Or
That
whatever.
was my fault. I addressed that on Tuesday.
Oh yeah.
So I went back and fixed that. So if you want to look at Monday's presentation material, it got fixed. But
Oh, okay.
Kale, did you say you had a problem loading the PowerPoint slides?
I just didn't see it.
Yeah, neither did I on Monday too.
Okay. Yeah, go back and take a look at that.
For me.
One of the things I'm trying to do. Oh, say what?
So for me, it was kind of the same thing for Tuesday. I tried to load in the presentation, and I have pretty good internet, and it didn't load up at all.
Okay.
Like, yeah.
That's
I couldn't see it at all.
That's why yesterday I switched to loading the PowerPoint file instead of the converted PDF file. And what I might do, what we were saying in the morning class, is some people had problems loading a PowerPoint file because they just didn't have the right software or something. So I might load them side by side, and you'll see one that says like next week, the very first lesson on Monday is going to be about time zones. And so you'll see like that time zone PowerPoint version and time zone PDF version, and it'll be the same file. You can just pick which works with your computer.
Okay. Right.
So that's kind of been a check-in. Is there's been a lot of people saying they're having trouble loading the slides, but I am loading the slides out there. So make sure that you're taking a look. All days this week had slides available for the PowerPoint. And in fact, if you're able to load the PowerPoint version, that'll be better for you because it actually has comments in the PowerPoint, like the teacher's notes down at the bottom, and you can read through those, and it gives more information. That's what's on the slide. But also, a good resource is going to be your textbook if you've got it. And I know some of you don't have your textbook. Some of you left it at the school. So in the course documents section of the class, there's a link to the FAA Handbook of Aeronautical Knowledge, and it's also a good resource. It's a little harder to read than the Jeppesen textbook that you should have, but it does a good job explaining the information as well. So if you're going through and you're having a little trouble, you've got those resources. And there are, again, lots of videos out there on YouTube where instructors have recorded the material. So I encourage you to go out and try and find an explanation. But I'm going to keep loading the slides. Make sure you're looking at those. I'll load links to different YouTube videos for you to do as we go along. Next, grades. You guys probably have a question about the grade book, so I want to answer that. You might be aware, but the grade book is frozen as of Monday. Whatever grade that you had is the lowest that you can get. So you can't get any lower than what you had on Monday. So everything that we do as we continue along for the rest of the year, technically, I guess if you want to think it's almost extra credit. Like your grade can only go up. One of the things I don't want you to do is just say, oh yeah, I'm happy. I've got a B. I'm good. That's all I wanted to do. I want you to continue to engage. And if this is something you want to learn, take the time and continue to engage and to learn it. Don't drop out. I've had some students that they haven't checked in this week, and I'm encouraging them to continue to move along with the class, even if they're a little behind. Like, come back and stay with us as we continue along to the end of the year. And question about the end of the year, that's on my list here too. The information that I have from the school, and this was current as of this morning, that hasn't changed. The last day of class is going to be on May 22nd. And I know a lot of your schools may have moved their end date up, but we haven't changed that end date yet. We're still out to the 22nd. So kind of giving you that heads up for the information. Let's see. So that's grades. There was a question about makeup work too. Some of you have some assignments. I know there was some communication assignments from the AOPA on those, and you were missing those. We didn't get them done, or we didn't have them turned in. There are a few of you who have some quizzes or tests that you didn't get a chance to take. So those are going to be unlocked. I'm going to start putting those back out there next week. So if you were somebody who had an AOPA course and you didn't get it finished and you needed to turn in the completion certificate for credit, you'll have that opportunity as we continue along to finish up any makeup work too.
All right.
Let's see here. You guys still with me here?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna go back. The textbook thing, by the way, if you have stuff locked in your locker, you have your textbook there. They have told us that we can get access to the school to get those books. I'm trying to avoid it as much as I can. I'm trying not to get people going in there because it's kind of a process. They need at least a day's notification ahead of time to be able to unlock the building for you. And then we're kind of limited in the group, but school access, we can get your stuff out of the locker if it needs to be, but you know, if it can wait, let's let it wait. But message me on Remind if you need to set something up. We can try and get that turned in through the proper channels to make it happen. My goal, I'm trying to send out just the information that you need through Remind, and then anything that I actually wanted to say, like kind of like we're doing right now, just put that in the daily video and say, hey, like this is what I've got for you, and get you the opportunity to kind of, okay. Yeah. My goal isn't to overwhelm you with material, and I don't know if I said this already. I don't think I did. But you know, with the pace and the way things are going right now, we might not get through everything that we had on the agenda. Obviously, the RCs are gone. Maybe
Aww.
when I get back into school, maybe I can make like a YouTube video of me building your RCs and putting those together. But
Please.
I just want the video of the shake test. That's all.
You want me to shake it?
Have a time lapse.
Yeah. The General Lee plane. No.
Yeah, dang it.
That's such a great
Hey,
idea.
You know, that's actually like that's my kind of most frustrating part about the whole thing, because the RC project has always been the RC project's always been like the highlight of the year. So when you've spent all this time, you've already spent a lot of time, and it was going to take quite a bit more to get it finished. But when we actually got to take those out and to fly that, it was really a rewarding experience, like to say, you know, a long-term commitment to a goal that took a lot of effort, what the reward on that is. And it's hard to just explain it. But when if you've ever had to work really hard for something for a long time, to see that
Pride.
that's kind of one of the frustrating things.
It's like this year is going well. I like it. Yeah.
You know, I'm kind of frustrated too. I had a lot of field trips planned on this last quarter. When we came back for the break.
But who's that stopping though? We can still do the field trips.
Let's meet up, guys. Pull up.
You know, you joke, but after everything's open back up, I'm thinking about doing like an end of the year party, inviting everybody out to maybe CC's or you know, somewhere like that. Incredible Pizza. I don't know, but get together,
cool.
get the PM class together as like a meetup. But you know, that's kind of unknown right now exactly what that's going to look like and when it's going to be. But I think I've gotten a positive response, so I'd like to just put that in the back of your mind. Something that we can be doing in the future. Let's see. So what I was saying is we're not going to be able to get through all of even the RC planes, obviously, but the objectives that we have. There are going to be things that as we go along through the rest of this year we might not finish, and that's okay. Like, if you plan on continuing on in aviation, if you're going to go to, a flight school, you're definitely going to get ground school again. It's not one and done. Your training is going to be continuous as you go along throughout your career. So don't fret. I had some people that were messaging me and they were kind of a little concerned about not getting through all the material. And, it's the reality of the situation. There'll be some things that we don't get through, but you'll get it at some point. You're going to get the material. So I'm not too concerned about that. And with that being said, it gives us a little flexibility to say, as we go along, if there's any particular project that you guys would like to accomplish throughout the end of the year, I'm kind of open to suggestions. Some people have talked about career exploration activities. I've heard some things about human factors activities. Is there anything particular you guys have a suggestion to discuss or to cover or to do?
I'd like to go more in depth, like career opportunities and stuff.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
Okay. I had one in my morning class that, with all this time out, they've been doing a lot of like videos. They've been watching stuff on YouTube, or they've been on the AOPA website, and they've been going through different courses and reading case studies and things. And I think it might be an idea at some point as we go along too, to just kind of give you a research project, like a short topic, and you can go out there, gain a little bit of information, bring that together, and then maybe in one of these group chats, we could share what you learned about in your research. And so kind of break it up a little bit into what everybody's interested in too.
Yeah,
Attendance. I didn't talk about that yet. So we are counting attendance. That came out yesterday. They said you are getting credit for attendance. So it's a little different, because I know, like, before we were doing that every day. The way I'm looking at doing attendance with you all is that if you are doing the assignments, if you're following along and you're filling out and turning in the assignments, then that's positive attendance, that you get credit for that. If at the end of the week, I'm going to be taking attendance and you haven't turned in anything, I'm going to look at the activities that you haven't turned in and I'm going to say, technically that's an absence. Now, that just keeps track. It's for record keeping. We want to make sure that we're documenting all the time that you are working on these assignments and projects. So my goal really is to keep you motivated, to keep pushing forward through this material. I don't want people to fall away. Like I said earlier, if you have a grade and you're like, oh, okay, I'm happy with my B, don't just stop. Like, keep going through the videos, keep doing the readings, looking at the presentations, so you can continue to engage with that material, because I know it can be pretty tempting, especially when there's nobody there to like check in on you every single day, to just let it sit off to the side. But I'd like to see you guys continue to stay motivated. If this is something you really want to do, it's a commitment of effort, and it's going to take some work on your part. Let's see here. I'm trying to go into Kahoot. How many of you finished the Kahoot?
There's a
This
Kahoot.
guy.
I got
You didn't watch the video.
I did watch the video. Maybe
Okay,
not all the
well.
way through, but I watched it.
It literally said, "Watch the video all the way through. I have something special at the end."
Yeah, like the first
No,
thing
I
it said
did
was
watch it
watch
all,
the
but-
video to the end.
Which video was it? I did watch it all. I don't remember. I don't know. It's been a long time.
Well, I'm going to try and announce the winner here.
Well, do we get anything?
Oh no.
Well, it looks like
Any
on
Oshkosh
in
prizes?
first place, in first place from the AM class, Kai on the podium.
Oh,
In
no,
second
yeah.
place in the AM class, Adam and Steven made number 3. Congratulations. Those videos, as far as quizzes go, some of the way I'm going to know if you've been watching the videos is I'm going to put those out there in the information. So, like, I gave the link, I gave the pin code, and those of you who actually watched the video got credit for it. And those of you didn't, well, like make sure you're continuing along as we go through
About the answers to the
assignment.
There's
That's fine. I'm just gonna go over the questions. If you had anything on that assignment from yesterday, I'll answer that question. But so latitude and longitude, and the questions you had. So the first one, it asked you what were the coordinates for those 3 airports, and if you went through skyvector.com, I don't know. What do you guys think about the Skyvector website compared to the VFR map website?
I like the VFR map more.
one. I do, yeah. VFR one's easier.
Okay, it's just another option that you have available. So use whatever resource that you feel most comfortable with. But one of the things that Skyvector has as far as options are the overlays of things like weather and TFRs and that information. So you're able to get a bigger picture of the information. But VFR map
does.
No, go
continue. That's not bad. Skyvector doesn't work very well on my laptop. It kind of glitches, and I can barely zoom in on it.
Okay, well, you can use the VFR map website. You know that's out there. So use whatever resource that you can make work for you.
Okay.
On VFR map, especially on this question, with VFR map, if you're trying to answer those like coordinates, if you click on the airport and it brings up the chart supplement information, then you can still see the latitude and longitude of those airports on there. But you need to be able to determine latitude and longitude for the test questions. You'll be given a map and it'll say, what is the latitude and longitude of this airport? And you have to figure out how far north it is and then how far west it is. It doesn't actually say, you have to calculate it. It said places where you'd use the decimal system versus places where you'd use the DMS notation.
Yeah.
And so some places they'll have it in decimal form, and some places will use degrees, minutes, seconds. And so you're going to find that depending on the source, Skyvector, they're using the decimal system. They're showing you like in the chart supplements, Google Maps, like in some of the major pilot apps like ForeFlight. And I haven't gone through that, but we're going to talk about it soon. It's a electronic flight bag. They'll use the decimal system, but DMS, that was on. It's also in the chart bulletin section of the chart supplement. So there are different places that they use that to give you that information. And so I don't know if that helps to answer it, but basically on the websites, they were using the decimal system. In the charts, they're using the degrees and minutes.
Okay. Yeah, I was about to say, how long do we have for assignments? Do they have to be due that day?
I'd like them by, say, 5 o'clock on Friday. That'll work for me. That way I can get them over the weekend.
Yeah. Okay, I can work with that.
I feel that.
So
I gotta go.
the pilot, the ground school exam at the end of the year that we were gonna have.
Yeah, they're written.
Yeah. We need to put that on the list to talk about. Yeah. So the FAA written exam. Right now, obviously, the testing centers are closed. To take the private pilot written exam, you have to have a logbook endorsement. And the way that I've done that in the past is that I've given out 3 practice exams of the FAA test, and you had to make an 85 or better on those to qualify. You could actually take more than 3. I had it kind of unlocked where you could take as many as you needed, but you had to make at least 3 85s before I give you the endorsement to send you on to do the test, just because I wanted to make sure you were ready to pass. We can still do that. So if it's something that you're wanting to do, we can still get you ready. I'd highly recommend that you download the ASA Prepware app. That was the one we talked about in the App Store. It's like $10, and you can study through that and prepare to take that exam. It's going to be the same questions that you were seeing like on the quizzes as we were going along.
Yeah. I noticed that a lot of the questions are like almost the same.
Yeah, I have heard that the FAA has kind of changed the testing database, so when you actually go to take the exam, it's not going to be exactly the same, but those questions in the app are pretty much identical to the questions on the test, maybe with a few different things. And that's why I wanted you to make an 85 or better on those practice tests, because if you get some questions that you're not familiar with or you haven't seen before, and you're not really at a high level on your practice tests, if you don't make at least a 70 or higher is considered passing, then you won't. And so that's kind of why I set the level where I did. So we can still do that. The way it works at a lot of programs, you know, and if you continue on it, do you know where you're going to go do your flight training?
I'm going to Riverside Flight
I
Center.
have,
I'm pretty
I have
sure.
no clue yet.
Kale, you're going to RFC?
Yeah.
You know, just depending on the situation when you go in there, like I said, there's a good possibility you'll have ground school and you'll get the endorsement to take the test from there too. So this isn't the only opportunity that you'll ever have to actually get the written test endorsement. At some point, whatever instructor that you're training with can give those as well. Yeah, I would definitely study very hard on that app. Like just keep going through the sections until you have that forward and backward, and read the responses of the explanations as well, because just having the answers memorized doesn't mean you know the material.
No, yeah, I understand that.
All right. Well, I'm going to go ahead and end the call for myself.
Okay.
I don't know if it kicks you guys out, but I will see you all next Friday at noon, if that works. If you have any questions, again, the Remind app, I've been trying to respond back as fast as I can on that. Don't hesitate to send me a question on there. I'm happy to answer those. I think you can even call me through the Remind app if you really have problems, if like something's really not working. But yeah, just use that app and communicate if you come up with anything or you don't understand how something's working. That's why on Tuesday I posted kind of the long video, because a lot of people came back and they said, I don't know how to do this. Like, this doesn't make sense. And so that's why I had the big response video. So I take your suggestions as we go along, and I'll kind of run with that. So you guys have a great week and enjoy your weekend. You guys take care and yourself.
Awesome.
See you.